there is no need to rush at this time. Like, I keep getting the sense of like you having this goal in mind in some way or another, and you kind of feeling like you need to expedite the process or like hurry up and do something. But this time in your life is meant to be easy and peaceful and like leisurely in some way. It doesn't really matter what you're trying to accomplish. Like, say you have a trip and you like want to learn the language before you go. Um, First of all, make sure you're not like superimposing like very, very, very high expectations on yourself that are unnecessary, right? Like, I don't think you need to be fluent before you go anyway, but again, it's just an energy, but it's something to where like, you may be exhausting yourself trying to achieve something in a short period of time because you're just like putting too much stress on yourself unnecessarily, right? Like, going with that example, if you're trying to like say you have a trip in like 3 months and so you want to be fluent in that language before you go, so like literally you study, I don't know who like has time for this, but like 8 hours a day every day, you know, and then you exhaust yourself and you burn yourself out about it, and then you're like not even excited to go anymore, right? It's just supposed to be fun and like not as intensive as you're making it. It's one thing to be excited and to feel compelled to do like put a lot of effort towards something, right? I'm also getting this could apply to like hold on. Okay, yeah, I'm also getting that this could apply to like or like a relationship forming or something like that, especially if it's in the early stages of a relationship. And you could be, I don't know, it's sort of like this sense of like you rushing milestones, um, almost like validate that the connection is actually going in the direction that you want it to go. But I'm getting that you are meant to just like be enjoying it. It's sort of like the sense of like certain things only happen one time, and you may be rushing to the end goal too fast to where you're not appreciating the first in a connection. Like, you know, if you're too eager to be in a commitment, are you really appreciating the first date that you have with somebody? Are you really appreciating the first phone call, the first like video call that you have with them? Are you really uh appreciating and like really feeling the energy? It's like because you could be dealing with somebody who is paying attention to the very little things of like, oh wow, hold on, like, oh, this is like the first time that we both realized that we liked each other, even, and they are sort of like dwelling in the bliss of that moment and that energy. And then in your mind you could be like, yeah, we like each other, but then what? Like, where is this going? Is this actually going to work out, etc., etc., etc.? But again, you're meant to just sort of like be flowing through the bliss of the moment and like observing things. It's giving the sense of, say you could be watching a movie that I would say it's like, oh, it's destined to be your favorite movie of all time. But yeah, let's say like, you haven't watched it yet, so you're not certain, but it will be your favorite movie of all time, okay? Um, but since you're too eager to see how it ends, you like watch it in like two times speed, right? And so, you're not really like capturing the nuances of things, like the subtle gestures and like the subtle like emotions and stuff like that are required to sort of set a scene and atmosphere, you know? Like, you're missing the cinematography basically of your life at this time. And if you rush through it, then you'd be like, oh, that movie wasn't that good, or like, yeah, it wasn't that great. But yeah, you feel that way because you were rushing to the end of it, right? Um, Whereas, like, if you just like sat and enjoyed the slow panning of like a beautiful landscape, then obviously you're like, oh, I get why this is like an incredible, beautiful movie, right? So there's something to like where you could literally be in a connection with somebody, and this is only if it's new-ish, not an ex or something, but you could be and it could be in the early stages of a dream career or anything, but you are sort of like, how if you go to the car wash and then you like get into the grooves and it kind of just like takes you along, right? But you kind of have to like go at the pace that it's, like, obviously they're cleaning the car and everything for you, but you still have to allow yourself to flow with the pace that it's dictating that you must go, in order to reach the end, okay? So that's kind of what it's giving, is that like you've already locked into the destination and like the dream life that you desire, but now you're kind of like rushing to the outcome. Um and not really enjoying the like experience itself. It's sort of like giving the sense of you, I don't want to say you want to, but it's like it's projecting this energy of wanting to skip the whole like beauty and you know like the heartache of falling in love, and you want to skip to like being married and having children with somebody. You know what I mean? Like all of that isn't even going to hit as deeply. It's not going to be as rewarding or whatever if you didn't experience like the longing and the yearning and stuff like that. Even if it is a little painful, um, while it's happening and unfolding, right? But there's like a beauty in the pain of said heartache. Not like if someone's playing you. I kind of just mean, the uncertainty of like, oh, do we actually both like each other back? And then, the relief of finding that you like each other back. And then, I don't know, and then like actually falling in love, and then like the whole like baby steps taken, or like the tiptoeing around the fact that you guys are like in love with each other, and then confessing those things, and then like, you know what I mean? It's something, and then like actually enjoying getting to know one another, and sort of finding more reasons to actually love each other beyond just like the superficial infatuation. Because like a lot of the time, yes, you can feel true feelings of love, but they really are just infatuation if it's like you don't know enough about that person. Like love is really about, you genuinely want that person to be happy, right? Even if that meant that not being with you, right? Um, you're genuinely wanting the best for somebody, you know, and it like requires a degree of like selflessness. You know, say if somebody needs to take things a bit more slower due to the way that their life has unfolded and like the boundaries that they have, if you really love that person, then you're willing to wait forever. And I'm not talking about somebody who's like leading you on or breadcrumbing you. I'm just talking about like if somebody needs a slower pace because they've been hurt before, it's not like you're like, oh, they don't like me that much, otherwise they would just like let that go. Or, it's sort of like having empathy, deep, deep empathy for somebody, even if it sort of like appears to go against what you want in like the immediate circumstances. It's sort of hard to explain, but like there's something about like you may be even like blocked literally by the universe and like spirit and stuff from rushing the process of this, because it's going to be more stable like the longer it takes. Or it's not going to take like forever, but you know what I mean. It's taking this long because it will be extremely stable, right? So think of like if someone's like building a like a massive bridge across like a huge river or something. Obviously, it would be a little worrisome if they went from like not having a bridge there at all to like finishing it in like 3 days, and you would be justified in questioning the structural integrity of said bridge that is meant to last a long time and like hold a lot of weight if they literally put it up in 3 days. The same thing with like, I don't know, those like pop-up houses are obviously going to last not as long as something that was like dug deep in the ground into like the foundation and like meticulously, you know I don't know, laid down in like a masonry sense or whatever. I'm not a construction worker, but obviously it's something in regards to like something is being pieced together meticulously and slowly because it's being built to last. And then so you may be used to things that like unfold or come to fruition faster in that way, but those things obviously like didn't work out, right? So it's just that like things in your life right now could be unfolding in a way that is like slower than you wanted it to, and you could feel like you're running out of time, but that's like just an illusion. You're not running out of time. You can fill the moments, in the meantime, with other more productive things, like other hobbies and stuff like that. And then it will feel like you're meant to be preparing for the inevitable instead of like lamenting the fact that the inevitable hasn't happened yet, if that makes sense.